All right, guys, it's Patrick and Kevin from North Star Bat Charts. And this video, guys, it's because we added something really, really huge to the NorthStarBatCharts.com website. And we had lots of requests, and we're taking it baby steps along the way. But right now, we put in place something that should really, really help you guys out, guys. So first thing to do, this is the top menu bar. Click on NSBC trading system. So NSBC, it's North Star Bat Charts. And as some of you guys might have guessed, we actually put in place a trading system where we'll be adding either via your request or we're going to be monitoring a whole bunch of charts. And when they get the green light, so anything. So right now, the purpose is so you could ride the trend without having to think about anything other than our green or red color codes. So a green is if ever we spot a breakout based on the weekly close. So forget the noise. Every weekend, we're going to look at our list or your requests, and we're going to see which ones are confirmed green. We're going to create a post, which it will be in the category. I'll click on this post right here, which is going to be in the category of NSBC green. You'll see it right here. See NSBC green. It's a silver minor. It looks like a regular post. But this post, the way it is, what you see right now, it's based on the weekly chart. A lot of it is based on Stan Weinstein stage analysis, a close above an inclining 30-week moving average, confirmed breakout on the weekly close. And that essentially, this chart is an example because it was hard to find one that had just broken out last week or that was about to break out. So this is type of chart you would have got about 10 weeks ago. You would have gotten an alert that would have showed up in the green section on that NSBC trading system. And more than that, every week right now there's no red. Red would be a chart where it closes below it. Let's say it's 30-week moving average and other weight of evidence that we're going to consider for you guys. And if we say that you can't hold that anymore, or it's not green anymore, it's red, it's going to show up under here, and we'll have the chart to support that exit point.
And it's important to mention, I think, Patrick, that the system that we're using here, we're deliberately keeping it very straightforward and simple using green and red color coding. It's important to say that me and Patrick are not financial advisors. We're technical chart analysts. So what we're doing is putting the technical chart information in front of you in terms of a green light and a red light system. And when a particular set of criteria has been satisfied, the chart will move into the green list. So that's what all the hints have been about for the last couple of days, what I've been referring to green all the time. So we'll have this green list where the charts that's sitting in that green list satisfy our criteria. And those are, what we're going to go on to explain here, of course. But when they no longer satisfy the criteria, they're retired into the red list. And just because they're in the red list, it doesn't mean they can't then recover and move back into the green category. But using the system that we've got set up here, it's unlikely that you're going to have particular stocks that are constantly flip-flopping between green and red. It's designed to capture a large part of a sustained run. So 6 to 18 months is a typical sort of perhaps period where the stock may remain in the green category. And it's not designed to pick the exact bottom or the exact top. The technical chart analysis can help us to do that. And what it's really designed to do is to capture the bulk of that move in a safe and secure way. So this isn't a trading system for those that are particularly wanting a risky trade and wanting to take risks. It's more erring towards and designed towards a system that will allow you to make your own trading decisions based on what we're about to explain here, looking at the chart. So as Pat says, it's quite heavily influenced by Stan Weinstein's methodology, but it's also been adjusted, amended, and updated using some particular systems that myself and Patrick have developed. And it also, by using those systems, it allows us to give provisions for profit taking on parabolic run-ups. So it allows preservation of some of those hard-earned gains right at the very top of a parabolic run, as for example we've seen recently with Bitcoin before the big drop, as an example. We use our weight of evidence techniques, and we're applying a whole load of background techniques and supporting methodologies to try and minimize or help to minimize things like false breakouts, for example, and to really focus in on those stocks that are more securely and more reliably into our green category. So the green category is going to start off very small with a very limited number of stocks, and it'll be added to as time goes by. And of course, the precious metals at the moment are in something of a pullback. So it's only natural that the particularly, for example, the mining stocks will not be in the green category at the moment until they begin to satisfy these criteria.
Exactly. It's the total. We'll keep doing the post, the big picture charts or the monthly charts, because they're all interlinked. This is Stan. Look, I put a video down here, guys. You could watch this video. I did this a charting tip about Stan Weinstein. I have a whole bunch of Stan Weinstein stuff on the internet. I've done a lot. Some guys are familiar. And so watch that. These are the type we want A+++ setup. So it's Stan Weinstein, it's stage analysis, that intermediate traders, swing traders type of time frame, right? If you want to ride the bulk of the moves. But it's also, we understand like the bigger weight of evidence. Are we going to run into quarterly defined resistance? Are we above monthly defined support? All that stuff, we're going to think of it in the background. So when we select those green, it won't be just the simple rules of Stan Weinstein. You're going to get a chart like this, where you'll see that it broke out on heavy volume, outperforming the SPX. But that's just part of it, because once we see that, we're going to try to see, is the sector healthy? How we are in the cycle? And all the other stuff that we just wanted to keep it super simple, because we got some feedback, our charts, as much as you guys love them, it could be overwhelming, you know? So this is really, really simple. It comes down to this: ride the trend without having to think about anything other than it's green or red. You could think about more stuff, but if it's in the green zone, it's something that it's A++ setup. And it's actually something that me and Kevin, we're gonna use, like we're gonna actually have positions in those stocks that are green, because they're gonna be high probabilities in our view that we're actually gonna own positions in them. And here's a weekly report that every Sunday or every Saturday or whenever we put in the report, you'll have the report is gonna come out as a post, and then after that you have a link, the actual link to the chart where we saw the confirmation. You'll see the previous color. So if there's no previous color, that means this is a new entry. These are the ones you want to look for. It's an initial breakout, and then we'll put our notes. But this one, like I told you guys, it's 10 weeks old. But this, if we would have caught it 10 weeks ago, would have said this is an initial breakout, guys. This is the best time, you know, to enter. So that's a clickable link. And I wanted to show you guys, please subscribe. So right now, look, the system is going to evolve. Subscribe to new posts. So it's right here, put your email. So if ever there's a new post, you'll get an email about it. And since the reports are going to be new posts, you'll get a warning. Worst case, log in, check in Monday morning, you know, or Sunday night, and see if there's changes in that report. You search by categories. So other than all that, you could always go in the categories right here, show more, and it starts with NSBC. So NSBC green are all the ones which are currently green lit, that had a single a certain amount of time, and they're still green. NSBC reports to see all the reports, and eventually there'll be an NSBC red, where it was a previously green one that said, guys, now you're falling apart. You're below the 30-week moving average. It's going downhill, and it'll be in the red category. And like Kevin said there, this is like the super slippery slope, maybe why we hesitated to start venturing in this. So guys, this is not financial advice by any measure. We might blame, like, I don't know, me and Kevin could disappear for months. It's still your responsibility to pull the trigger on whatever you have to do on your end. We might not be here tomorrow. This, like Kevin says, is just a simplified way of consolidating our technical analysis into a color-coded system, red or green.
Yeah, we're trying to sort of, as Pat says, just make it as simple as we possibly can to sort of crystallize all the information that we're giving. If Pat just scrolls down to the chart at the bottom there, the information that we're using is as Pat mentioned, Stone-Weinstein stage analysis, but the indicators there at the bottom, we need to be outperforming the SPX, and we also need to be above an inclining 30-week moving average. So those two criteria there, we need to have broken out, and then we need to be outperforming the SPX, and we need to be above an inclining, that's a rising 30-week moving average. We're not going to leave you dangling at that point, of course. We're going to give, as Pat said, a signal when this is no longer meeting the green criteria and it moves into the red category, and that'll be decided either by passing down below the 30-week moving average, or if we've been in a particularly strong uptrend where the move might be, for example, going parabolic, then you might, or we might then use the technical analysis to decide whether the drop is likely to be a particularly steep one. And if that's the case, then we may well be giving or moving it into the red category based on perhaps the 10-week moving average, and not necessarily wait for a much larger drop. So that's the basis of how the system works, but we're applying a lot of background techniques as well to sort of to guide us as well. So yeah, it's good stuff. It's exciting stuff. Me and Patrick are really excited about it. We hope that it really makes the website much more usable for a lot of you who perhaps don't understand or don't have time particularly to try and work out what the charts are saying. It's not always easy for us to explain, even with the text, just what we're trying to get across with the charts. And this is a really good simplified, almost like a traffic light system for you. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting it up and running and putting more charts in the green for you when we discover them and as we find them.
Yeah, and then the request format, guys, if ever there's charts that you think that'd be good, you could do a request and say a candidate for NSBC, and we're gonna filter it. And if it's a confirmed breakout, it's gonna show in the green. We're gonna keep tracking it every week, weekly close basis, guys. We're not going down in the daily noise. We have had too much experience where daily noise whipsaw you to death. This is for swing and position traders. So put in the request if it fits that criteria, perfect, because we need eyes everywhere to scan, to add them in. And it doesn't have to be just gold and silver. It could be any chart, and we'll see if the whole weight of evidence fits.
Yeah, and those terms, swing and position traders, I know probably some of you who are members of the website might not be particularly familiar with those terms, but it really just means if you're looking to invest over a slightly longer time period, probably measured in months or years, rather than continually sort of looking at your portfolio and buying and selling stocks. So if you're one of those people who's wanted to make a purchase of a stock and hold it for a reasonable period of time, several months, then this is the type of setup that will that will suit what you're trying to do. So it could be from several months to perhaps even a couple of years if the uptrend continues for that period, that period of time, which they do sometimes.
All right, guys, thank you very much. We appreciate your support for all members and new members, and hopefully this adds a lot of value for you guys.
Cheers, everybody.